morning, and thank you for joining us for the California State University's 6th Graduation Initiative 2025 Convening, Advancing Equity Together. This is our second convening, presented virtually. I hope you feel fired up about equity, whether you're joining us from your home or office. That opening makes me thrilled to be part of the Cal State system with you all. Last year's event drew more than 4,000 CSU staff and faculty, community partners, and colleagues from across the country who care deeply about the success of all students. And from the look of things, we may top that record today. I'm Ji Sun, psychology professor and director of the Learning Lab at Cal State LA. Go Golden Eagles! And I'm honored to serve as your MC. Beyond my slightly YouTuber-esque speech patterns, I have a hunch as to why I was invited to host today's gathering. At Cal State LA, I've been leading the WISE Intervention Project out of the Provost's office, where we use randomized controlled trials to partner with dedicated instructors and administrators to help our students thrive, earn a higher GPA, and achieve their degree. In the lab and in my stats classroom, I love nothing more than to help students from all walks of life learn truly hard things, becoming flexible thinkers who could tackle future problems and challenges. And man, have we all tackled a big one over the past year and a half. Together, during a global pandemic of historic proportions, we stretched, flexed, and reimagined our jobs to become the largest, most diverse online university in the nation. One that graduated over 100,000 students this May, an all-time high against all odds. That's simply incredible. And it shows the resolve of our amazing students and the power of our collective dedication and innovation. And now it's time to unleash that power on an even greater challenge. As much progress as we have made, not every student who dreams of a CSU degree is making it to commencement. And the unequal obstacles standing in the way of our more marginalized students, first generation, low income, and students of color have grown even more daunting. This is the equity gap that we as the CSU face together with our students. We want to ensure that those students who need us the most have a path to a bright and prosperous future. I know that you're here today because of your commitment to the CSU mission. You're here for the same reason I am. We're committed to advancing equity together. We have a fantastic program for you this morning. We'll start by celebrating our significant accomplishments, providing a glimpse of the remarkable equity work happening across our 23 campuses. We'll share the latest student success data, hot off the presses. And Chancellor Castro will unveil his targeted action plan for closing remaining equity gaps. And because I'm a realist, here's the truth. The Chancellor's plan will challenge you, me, and the entire CSU community to work with a renewed sense of purpose as we creatively pull out all the stops to advance equity together. We'll have more to say about the plan later, but for now, it's my pleasure to welcome our esteemed leader, Chancellor Castro.
What a way to get us started. Thank you so much, Dr. San. I love your spirit. I can't tell you how excited I am to be here to kick off this event. Ever since my participation in this convening as the Chancellor-Select last year, I've been looking forward to this gathering and to acknowledging and celebrating with you our resilience, our perseverance, and our ganas as part of our Graduation Initiative 2025 efforts to help more students, especially those from underserved backgrounds, to earn a life-changing CSU degree. In these 10 months as Chancellor, I've seen our CSU family go above and beyond in supporting our students who have themselves astounded us with their tenacity. This has been an incredibly challenging year. We've all worked hard in unfamiliar territory, and the stress and fatigue have been real. And yet, we all have so much to be proud of. Over the past year and a half, under trying circumstances, that would make anyone feel overwhelmed and uncertain. I've been inspired by the extraordinary ingenuity, adaptability, and resolve of the Cal State community. Through the sheer power of our 23 campuses working in unison, together we've ensured that nearly 500,000 students were provided the instruction and support they needed to maintain progress toward their degrees. Thanks to our efforts and the grit and determination of our students, we have so much to celebrate. As Dr. Alva will share with you shortly, across the CSU, our students continue to graduate at record rates. And as Dr. Son noted, this year marks the largest graduating class in CSU history, with almost 133,000 students earning a high-quality college degree. And now that we fully recognize and appreciate our transformative power, it's time to level up. This doesn't mean working harder or longer or faster. It means reimagining our roles in a brand new way and targeting our strengths and resources. Let's use our collective energy. Let's use the power of the 23 to lead the nation and tackle the challenge of our time. Let's close equity gaps for good. Indeed, for many of us, myself included, this is the challenge of a lifetime, to ensure that all students, regardless of their hometown or the amount of money in their pockets, have equitable opportunities to achieve academic success and a life of prosperity. This work could not be more critical or closer to my heart, and I am so energized by our collective commitment as one university with 23 campuses to foster equity on behalf of our diverse and talented students. And after so many months apart, I have to tell you, I can really feel the electricity in the air. Today's event asks us to renew our commitment to advancing equity together and challenge ourselves to bring to life bolder and more innovative practices to help our incredible students and their families achieve their dreams of a college degree. And perhaps you are like me. Whenever I need a jolt of humor, inspiration, or clarity, I always find it in conversation with our students. And so, who better to join me this morning to provide us with that jolt of energy and inspire us with his perspective than Cal State Student Association President, Isaac Alferos. Isaac, great to see you this morning.
It's great seeing you, yes. Appreciate it.
We are outside, we're vaccinated.
Yes.
We're advancing equity together.
Yep.
For those of you who have not yet met Isaac, he is a business administration major at Cal State Fullerton, the Titans, right?
Yes.
And a tireless champion for educational access and equity. I'm delighted to have you here with me today, Isaac. So Isaac, you're back on campus at Fullerton.
Yes, I am.
How has the return to campus been?
Oh, I've missed it. I've missed it so much. I mean, I got used to doing the virtual environment, but I'll admit the college experience isn't the same in my childhood bedroom as it is on campus. Yeah. So it's great being around other students and feeling more connected to our community once again.
Wonderful. Has anything been so different that it's taken you by surprise?
I think the transition has been hard on our students, right? Obviously, going virtual wasn't something we were necessarily fully ready to do beforehand. Yes. But I've been impressed by the resiliency of our students as well. And I think the transition coming back to campus, I've been really surprised how eager students are to show up and how ready so many of our students are to follow our guidelines to protect themselves and their communities. And so that has been really great to see that students are rallying to wear masks and to distance themselves and recognizing that we are in a different environment, but fully ready to show up.
It's wonderful.
Yeah.
Taking steps to be safe.
Exactly.
And learn together.
Exactly.
Did you remember where the buildings were?
I will admit there were a couple of buildings I had to look up again. I got my class schedule and I was like, I don't know where that is. So that was a little difficult. But by and large, we're good.
Good. One of the reasons I love being in conversation with students like you, Isaac, is that I get to learn about what inspires your passion in the work you do. Mm-hmm. And I think you've heard my own story. I'm the great-grandchild of immigrants from Mexico, raised by my grandparents who were farm workers and by my mother. And I'm a first-generation college student who attended UC Berkeley, thanks to a program for students from backgrounds like ours.
Yes.
And wanted to ask, what fuels your passion to support our students?
Yeah, I would say, you know, my background and my family has a huge impact in my own passion. You know, I'm a descendant of sharecroppers and immigrants, I like to say, from both sides of my family, and so that has really informed the value that my family has ingrained here, and has helped support, you know, the building of not just this country, but of our state too. And yes. So I see that. I remember I tell folks that I stand on the shoulders of giants, unbroken and unchanged, and that's really honestly what fuels me a lot. And the other piece is our students. I come from a community where going to college isn't common, and so in my free time I volunteer there and help students apply for FAFSA and the DREAM Act and try and take students to go visit colleges because their parents can't take them because they're working. And so that's my fuel, is remembering at the end of the day, as you know, a student who commutes to campus, I come home back to my community. Yes. Remember that this is what matters most, is how are we supporting each other. And so seeing the faces of students who never thought they were going to go to college and their first-gen students saying, I got into the CSU, is so incredibly exciting. Yeah.
Closing equity gaps across the CSU has been at the top of my priority list since I became chancellor. But I'm especially interested, Isaac, in hearing your perspective. And I have a feeling you might just say it the best. So, why do you feel that it's so important for the CSU to eliminate equity gaps?
I think eliminating equity gaps isn't just central to what we do in the CSU, it's at the core of who we are, right? We create an institution where more students have access to higher education, where folks from our backgrounds can actually see themselves in the halls of our institutions and succeed. And so I think it's not just about, you know, what it looks like, it's about what we create. The CSU becomes the backbone of our state's economy, that we are helping revitalize economies that have been impacted by decades of redlining and policies that hurt underrepresented communities. And so here at the CSU, through our investment in our education, we're not only transforming the lives of students, we're transforming the lives of their families and of our communities as well.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So I have one final question, Isaac. I believe we must find joy while engaging in the hard work. So let me ask for your prediction on this important one.
Yeah.
Do you think Fresno State will win against Nevada tomorrow?
I mean, I'm a huge CSU fan, so I gotta say, hopefully, I need them to win against Nevada tomorrow. I think that's really what it is. Yeah, I'd hope so.
Me too. It's gonna be a tough game, but I think they can do it.
I think so too. I think we got this.
Thanks so much for joining me, Isaac. It's been a blast hanging out with you for a little bit. And Dr. San, how did I do?
That was great. Thanks very much to the both of you for being so generous and candid in sharing your own experiences. I could see how they fueled your passion and forged your commitment to equity. Chancellor Castro knows the secret. The more time we spend with students, the more we learn from them and hear their remarkable and inspiring stories, the more critical our equity mission becomes. Each of us has the power to remove barriers, to see and hear our most vulnerable students and connect them with a wealth of support to help fulfill dreams and change lives. Every day, across all 23 CSU campuses, we see examples of faculty who are going the extra mile to foster equity and supercharge student success. I hope you'll enjoy this quick video capturing just a few of the innovative campus efforts to keep all of our students well, engaged, and moving forward, especially over the past very tumultuous 18 months. Roll the clip.
What are we doing to create an equitable environment for students? What am I doing in my classroom? What am I doing in my department, in my college?
I didn't revamp my classes all at one time. I started making little changes over time. Every time I taught the class, I would make a few little changes in each lecture, and it's made a big difference over time.
We learned about what is known as a wise feedback model, where you provide feedback where rather than just telling students what they did right, to actually provide them instructive feedback on A, what they can do better, B, hold them to high standards, and C, let them know you believe they can reach those high standards.
When students turn in a writing assignment in these upper division writing GE courses, I grade them, but anyone who got lower than a C, basically, or D or lower, I allow them to rewrite it. I don't share with them that they've gotten a DF or U, or a D or F. The next time they do the paper, their paper is so much better, and they've learned from the process.
I really thought long and hard about how can I change the weighting of the assessments in my course to give students a wider range of opportunities to show me what they're understanding about the content that I'm teaching. That led me to increase the weighting for a new assignment that I had just tried in spring semester.
What we did is kind of leverage an opportunity to redesign coursework, and what we ended up with was a syllabi set that any faculty who is teaching that class could access, with syllabi, with assignments, with assessments for their students, so that if you inherited the class, for example, in a particular semester, you had a resource to go to.
I've been doing a lot of work working with my colleagues to help shed a light on what can we do to provide a college going space that is welcoming, that appreciates what students are coming in with to college, that validates that, values that, and adds on to that.
As faculty, as staff, as anyone who's looking at this and working with our students, we want our students to have a positive experience. We want them to graduate and feel good about the experience.
And I can't even begin to express what joy that has rekindled in me for the way that I'm engaging in the course and the way that I feel about helping my students get excited about the content area that I have spent so much time and energy learning about.
I'm always so inspired by my CSU colleagues. I took notes and will definitely use some of those tips in my own courses this year. Well done! As a statistics nerd, I am the author of a free online stats textbook. What strikes me about all these campus efforts is that they are informed by data. Data helps all of us, professors, practitioners, and campus leaders, pinpoint which students need extra support, which interventions are working well, and which programs are having the most positive impact on our students. And as we close in on the 2025 part of Graduation Initiative 2025, we can monitor the numbers to gauge progress on our collective effort to close equity gaps and improve graduation rates. Here to present a big picture look at the latest student success data and the size and scope of the challenges ahead is Dr. Sylvia Alva, Executive Vice Chancellor for Academic and Student Affairs and a proud first-generation college student. Although new to her position at the Chancellor's office this summer, Dr. Alva has focused on student success every day of her 30 years with the CSU. Take it away, Dr. Alva.
Thank you very much, Dr. Son. Yes, I am made in the CSU, and I have proudly served 3 CSU campuses throughout my career. Fullerton, Northridge, and most recently Pomona as the Provost and Vice President for Academic Affairs. I know that each year we have eagerly awaited the numbers to assess and refine our student success efforts. Truth be told, I monitor the data very closely, not just because of my role. Equity gaps hit home for me. I can see the great potential in our diverse and talented students, and it's up to all of us to make sure all students reach new heights of success. As a first-generation student and a woman of color, I know that offering our students the opportunity and support they need to graduate with a CSU degree will have a profound and transformational impact on their social mobility and success. I also know from experience how easily equity gaps can emerge and persist. It's up to us to eliminate them. It's up to us to advance equity together. Some of you may have heard this story before. When I was a senior in high school, I made an appointment to see my guidance counselor. He steered me away from college and instead encouraged me to find a full-time job and get work experience. I was devastated. I had taken college prep courses and had a very high GPA and equally high hopes. Today, I can only speculate about the reasons for his advice. What I do know is that when you're a first-generation student from a low-income or ethnic minority background, you receive messages like these, some subtle, some more overt, that cause you to question if you even belong in college. Fortunately, my high school Spanish teacher guided me in applying to college and for financial aid. I was accepted to several universities and chose to enroll at Cal State Los Angeles. That was the best decision of my life. I remember the day I shared the news with my parents, both immigrants from Mexico, and they were so happy and proud of me. And they also gave me the responsibility to help my siblings and others achieve their college goals. If I didn't have the support I found in my parents, my Spanish teacher, and the Cal State mentors who have guided me, I wouldn't be speaking with you today. I'm deeply grateful for the experience the CSU has given me, and I have a profound sense of allegiance and a call to pay it forward, especially through the success of the Graduation Initiative. I'm also so proud to be on this team striving for one goal, advancing equity together. And just look at what we can accomplish together. Despite the pandemic, over the past year, nearly 113,000 CSU students earned a bachelor's degree and helped the CSU mark the milestone of 4 million proud alumni around the globe. This record number of degrees represents nearly 25,000 more graduates compared to 2014-15, the year before the Graduation Initiative was launched. That is like graduating entire Fresno State every year. Our resilient students undoubtedly deserve our respect and congratulations for their perseverance and accomplishments. And we should also celebrate our own extraordinary efforts to help keep nearly 500,000 students learning, engaged, and moving forward despite unprecedented challenges. CSU's exceptional faculty, staff, and administrators have shown extraordinary commitment and fortitude. Together, we've accomplished what once seemed impossible. I'm pleased to begin by sharing that the four-year graduation rate for first-year students system-wide is now 33%, the highest rate in the history of the CSU. This represents continued progress towards our 2025 goal of a 40% graduation rate for first-time students. The six-year graduation rate is now 63%, which continues to exceed the national average for public four-year universities. And several campuses are already meeting or have surpassed the system-wide six-year goal of 70%. For transfer students, the 2-year graduation rate is 44%, again, the highest it's been. And the 4-year transfer student graduation rate is 80%, another all-time high. The CSU's transfer student completion rates were already among the highest in the nation, even before the Graduation Initiative. But our continued investment in supporting transfer students through advising, engagement, and clear pathways to a 4-year degree are paying impressive dividends. And next, I'd like to address our progress in eliminating equity gaps in our student success outcomes. Several campuses continue to make good progress in eliminating equity gaps between historically underserved student populations and their peers. But as you'll see on the next 2 slides, we continue to have significant work to do to meet these goals system-wide. The graduation equity gap for Pell recipient students grew slightly this year, and the gap now stands at 10.2 percentage points. The gap for students of color who identify as African American, Native American, and Latinx also increased slightly to 12.4 percentage points. Overall, we do have much to celebrate. The record high graduation rates are a testament to all we can achieve together. For students from all backgrounds, there's never been a better time to be a CSU student. But now it's time to focus all of our talents and strengths on helping those who need us most, leading the nation and closing equity gaps for good. It would be simple to sit back and attribute inequities to the pandemic, to the economic uncertainty, the racial and social injustice across the nation, all of the turbulence of the last year. It would be simple, but it would be incomplete. Incomplete because that explanation robs us of accountability. It stifles our great ideas, collaboration, and innovation, and it lets our incredible potential to meet the call to action slip through our fingers. The Cal State community, all of us, are done waiting for the right circumstances. We want to act. We know that all of our students deserve every opportunity to stay in college, earn a degree, and pursue their brightest future for themselves, their families, and the state of California. We have passion, we have power, and we have a plan to step over the status quo and accomplish our greatest mission, to advance equity together. And I know Chancellor Castro is eager to share our plan with you. Dr. Son, I'll hand it back to you for our next steps.
Thank you so much, Dr. Alva. The data show we have much to celebrate with record high graduation rates across the board. However, it also reveals the important work we have ahead. Every single one of our graduates is a success story made possible in large part by all of you here today, through your instruction, your care, your guidance, and, especially over the last 18 months, your unshakable commitment to meet our students where they are and provide them with a world-class education. I've seen it firsthand in WISE interventions. In our experiments, students learn that others, just like them, have also felt overwhelmed, inadequate, and uncertain. And in those times, they made use of amazing Cal State LA resources, including meeting with dedicated professors or staff. They got through it. Our flexibility, innovation, and commitment will help us zero in on stubborn equity gaps. Ready to advance equity together? Here again is Chancellor Castro to tell us more about that innovative equity action plan I told you about earlier. Chancellor Castro?
Thank you again, Dr. Son. The data shared by Dr. Alva is clear. It tells us that the status quo will not be sufficient to close equity gaps. It will take collective focus and intentional action from every corner of our CSU community to reimagine our policies, our programs, our interactions, and remove the barriers that stand in the way of our historically marginalized students. As the stewards of this great university and the supporters of our students, we must commit to immediate and bold action. As I mentioned to Isaac, this has always been a top priority, and indeed we have a moral imperative to do better for our students. So that's why today I'm announcing a powerful plan to accelerate our progress toward our Graduation Initiative 2025 goals, with a special focus on eliminating equity gaps. This plan, developed in conjunction with an advisory committee of expert stakeholders from across our system, pinpoints actions that all campuses must tackle immediately. As just a few examples, the equity plan calls for an immediate system-wide re-enrollment campaign with specific goals for bringing underserved students back to our universities beginning this spring. Consider this: just 8 of our campuses account for 57% of the students of color who have left us since fall 2019. Let's reach out, find creative ways to reconnect and welcome them back to the CSU, and provide them with the support they need to get back on track. We will also commit to providing all students with a clear, consistent roadmap to expertly guide them from orientation to graduation. Digital degree planners give students an accurate, real-time understanding of the courses they need to graduate, and real-time corrections when key academic milestones are missed. While these planners have provided tremendous support to our students, their availability and usage varies from campus to campus. That's why we're calling for these digital tools to be in place for every student on every campus by no later than this summer, and that these tools are accompanied by comprehensive communications plans to ensure that our students know about them, understand their benefits, and put them to use. We can wait no longer to ensure every CSU student has access to a clear, consistent pathway to graduation. And finally, we all know that what happens in the classroom during the first year plays a big role in whether students develop a sense of belonging on campus, gain academic confidence, and ultimately earn their degree. But data shows students of color and first-generation students are more likely to receive D's, F's, or withdrawals in their first-year courses. For this reason, we aim to dramatically improve outcomes in those essential major pathway courses with the highest enrollments of underserved students. While these 3 focused actions provide a brief glimpse of the system-wide equity plan that will be shared at our November board meeting, we all know that support at the campus level is also critical. That's why I have called on each of our campus presidents to assemble expert teams to develop their own ambitious, data-driven equity plans to help us eliminate equity gaps once and for all. I extend my deep respect and gratitude to everyone on every campus who will be pushing these critical efforts forward. Make no mistake, this work will be among the most challenging of our careers. It will require a renewed commitment to transparency and accountability, frank and honest discussions about what's working and where we are falling short, with earnest collaboration and data sharing between and among campuses so we can all benefit from those who are succeeding. And for each of us, closing equity gaps will require us to dig deep into the same innovation, resourcefulness, curiosity, and the ganas that helped us discover new tools, skills, and passions throughout our 19 months of virtual work. We've accomplished extraordinary feats, and we can do it again. Most important, we must keep equity top of mind. It's not just a word. It's not just a task force. Equity is an essential core CSU value that every one of us can and must protect and build through our work. Do what you can to make sure our most vulnerable students are seen, heard, and supported. Make equity an ongoing topic at your staff meetings, no matter your role or department. Seek out professional development or webinars related to equity. Look for champions of equity on your own campus and support or replicate their strategies in your own sphere. These are just a few ways we can take the bold actions necessary to achieve our GI 2025 goals. We must continue to hold high our shared belief that every student who trusts us with their hopes and dreams deserves the lifelong, life-transforming benefits that come with a Cal State degree and the opportunity to make their mark in their communities across the state and around the globe. We can quite literally change the world by advancing equity together, and your help will make all the difference. Dr. San, back to you to close it up.
Thank you so much, Chancellor Castro. This is exciting. I've had firsthand experience with some of those strategies myself, and I can tell you, they work. We have the data, we have the tools, and there's no doubt we have the brain power and creativity. We have support from our elected officials, alumni, partners, and friends across the state and across the country. We have the most diverse and talented student body in the nation, providing the inspiration for our critical work. And now we have a clear and strong plan. Together, once again, the CSU can lead the nation, understand why equity gaps exist, and close them for good, and ensure that every student with a dream, from all backgrounds and every zip code, has the opportunity to earn the life-altering, lifelong benefits of a Cal State degree. Thank you for being part of the CSU family and for advancing equity together. Let's do this!